Hey, my friends, welcome to the Dallas Daily Show, my favorite time of the week, the Midweek Mind Shift, coming at you from on the road again. Just can't wait to get on the road again. Heading back from Nashville, Tennessee to St. Louis, Missouri, so country music sounded fitting. Today's topic is you have permission to shift. All right, let's get into the conversation. All right, my friends, it is the Midweek Mind Shift episode. As you guys know, if you've been listening to these, typically they're a little bit longer, but since I'm coming at you from on the road, as I'm driving, it seemed to be the pattern this week. The whole thing seems to be me just talking into a voice recorder on my phone, so apologies for the slightly different sound and audio, and even for maybe the background noise. I was having a conversation with someone this week. And this midweek mind shift is, I think it's crucial because today's topic of being this idea you have permission to shift is sometimes we get locked in, and it's been our positive play call this whole week of the idea you are able to break free from old patterns, but sometimes we get locked into behavioral patterns. Sometimes we get locked into this idea of automated activity or robotic living. Think about just how robotic your life is on a day in, day out basis, right? You get up, you do your morning routine, whether it's productive or non-productive, not really the issue. But you do this morning routine and you work on your life, you go to work, you work, and typically you do mostly the same stuff a lot of times. You're either moving a project forward, you're responding to emails, you're having meetings, whether good, bad, or totally unnecessary. You kind of live your robotic day. Then you get back in the car at the end of the day, you go home, you do the normal, typical evening routines. Maybe you're running children to sports, or maybe you hit the gym for a little bit, or maybe you just go home, make yourself dinner, plop down in front of the television, Netflix yourself to bedtime, and then you might doom scroll for a little bit on your phone, or you do the nighttime ritual with the children. Whatever it is for you, the majority of our days are typically robotic routine, and we don't really think about it. But every now and again, something awakens inside of us. Something happens where we're like, yes, this is calling me to a higher level, or, ooh, I want to try this thing, and we get on an exciting project for a little bit, or we try out some new patterns in our day for a little bit. And those are really exciting times because our awareness level goes very high. We're getting a little bit more of a dopaminic reward from the new pattern we're trying. And we're like, oh, this is exciting. But how often do those things last? A couple of weeks sometimes, right? This is the old why New Year's resolutions don't happen and don't stick, is because we then, after a while, short of it becoming part of our new routine, if it takes too much energy, too much focus, too much mind, too much thought, we will slowly go back to the old patterns. That's how it works in typical life. What begins to occur for us is that's the same way it is whenever we want to try something new. We have the old environments. We've talked about this on the Mind Shift episodes before. You want to demo out a new version of you. You want to beta test it. You want to try it out. You want to see if it works in all of your old environments. So you try it out, and it may or may not work for a little bit, or your social circles may seek to pull you back down into the old and the familiar and the same. That's just what happens. And we begin to write a story that it's not okay to become this new version of ourselves. That's what starts to occur, is subconsciously when the new version of you is not rewarded in a way that's meaningful, either with environments or with relationships or whatever, you actually tell yourself the story, maybe the new me isn't right. Maybe I don't have permission to shift here. Maybe this isn't what I'm supposed to be in this environment. And we give ourselves this idea it's not okay. So point of low resistance, right? The water level flows least resistance to the lowest level, and we just settle back into the old us, the old patterns, the old beliefs, the old behaviors, because the new us is taking too much energy, taking too much focus, and it's not giving us the dopaminic reward that we want. So we just fall back into the patterns, and we get our dopamine through secondary sources of doom scrolling, of binge watching, of the food choices, whatever it might be. It's difficult. And we've told ourselves that it's difficult. We've bought into even that story. Even now, as I say this, I'm sitting here going, oh yeah, even that's a story. Because there is resistance to the new version of you. There's resistance. Think of it like wind-air resistance as a rocket is trying to make its way to the stratosphere and to the upper atmosphere and to where there's less wind resistance. It takes a lot to get the rocket off the ground. It takes a ton of fuel to get the airplane off the landing strip and into the sky. But once it gets to higher levels, there's less resistance. But it's a lot easier to just go, no, let's just stay on the ground. Let's just stay at our current level. Because it doesn't take as much fuel. We don't feel as much resistance, and so it's easier. But yet we feel called to a higher level. We feel called to the upper atmosphere of what is possible for us. We talked about this last week in the perceived maximum potential of the 100%. Maybe it's only 60, 70%. So someone comes along and says, come on, push 110%, give 110%, try 110%. But often we don't give ourselves that permission because the lower level story is the easier story. And we tell ourselves, I don't have permission to do that. My friend, I am here today to give you permission. I'm here today to say, go for it. You have permission to shift to the new version of you. If you have been waiting for someone to say it, let me say it now. You have permission to shift. This future version of you that you've created, this future self, future you, that you said, oh, I can see it. I feel that person. I want to become that person. I even have the power scripts to speak to who that person is. And when you go and actually demo this version of yourself out there, it's met with some resistance. It's met with a little, what about this new version of you? What are you trying something? And you tell yourself, I don't have permission there. I'm telling you, you're safe to do it. The new future version of you is waiting. It is waiting for you to have the boldness and the courage. So let me encourage you. Let me encourage you. Let me encourage you. My friend, you have permission to shift, to embrace this new identity, to embrace this new reality, to embrace the potentiality of who you are called to be rather than the substandard life that you're living now. I encourage you. I encourage you. I put in courage to you and say, go. Define this new person that you want to become. And maybe it's just, I want to shift my business focus. Maybe it's, like for me, that's a big one. I've put business focus out there in the past. I've put demographics and target niches and all those things into the past. And yes, we're going a little longer because this is a mind shift episode. But we're about to bring it down. We're about to bring it in for the landing here, friends. You have full, total permission to make the shift. To shift your identity of who you think you are, to who you think you want to serve in your business, to who you think you can be as a parent, as a father, as a mother, as a spouse, as a significant other, as a partner in a relationship. You have permission to shift all of that. But it comes from shifting first the operating system of who you want to be and who you feel called to be. So, get the new operating system. Shift who you think you are. Feel free to break those old patterns. That's been our positive play call this whole week. On your positive play call card, you have to have that thing that says, I am able to break free of old patterns. I am giving you permission, my friend, to do that. Do it today. Make the choice. Make the hard decision. As I'm pulling off of this exit now off the highway to get some gas in the tank, I want you to pull off the exit of the automated highway you've been on as well. Go out there. Make that choice. Tell yourself, I'm able to break free from old patterns. Be encouraged today to shift. Give yourself the permission. And go out there, my friend, and have a championship day.
Thanks for listening to my dad's podcast. For more tools, go to dallasdailyshow.com. Be sure to like, subscribe, and share. Thank you.